Hello, guys. I hope we all had a wonderful weekend. We will continue just quickly with our discussion from last week. In that discussion, we found these vector values for these two swings here, and then also we discussed this unit square where we said is a 1852 by 1852 square, which is the unit square or the first square we drew in our price trend. And then we also discussed the root rectangles, which is we discussed the root 2 rectangle and the root 5 rectangle. We also said we have root 3 rectangle, which the ratio is equal to 1 is to 1.732. And then the root 4 rectangle, which obviously will be two squares. That is root 4 is equal to 2, so it will be 2 of 1 by 1 rectangle, 1 by 1 squares. That will give us a root 2 rectangle. So guys, quickly, I want to discuss something also. We want to go through compound squares. The squares actually above root 5, what we have normally are compound squares. That is, we combine two different root squares. Example, let's say if we have this square here, this is a square. And then let's say if we have another square, which is a root 2 rectangle. This is a root 2 rectangle. So if we have these two squares and then we add these two squares together in a trend, in the price trend, in that manner, what we have is a compound rectangle. It is not an individual rectangle or one combined rectangle. This is a compound rectangle. So this rectangle will have one here at the sides, and here we'll have one and 1.4142. So the side here will be 2.4142, whilst the vertical side will still maintain 1.0 ratio. This is what we mean by compound rectangles. Example also, if we have, let's say this is 1.618 like that, then here we would have 1.0 and here we will have 1.618. This is a golden rectangle. So a golden rectangle plus a square, that will give us a compound square of 2.618. Or here will be 1 and here will be 1 point, this side will be 1.618. So 1.618 plus 1, that gives us a compound rectangle of 2.618 by 1 ratio. So the same manner, if we can go on and on, let's say this is 2.618. If we add another rectangle here, which is also 1 by 1 square, then this again becomes a compound rectangle where we have 1 here, 1 there, and 1.618 in the center. Then this whole rectangle will be 3.618 by 1 rectangle. So for the compound rectangles, we will put the description, we will discuss it more in the text section in the description, so we can refer also from there. So we just continue quickly. Now we said this is our unit square where we used the vector value for this side here, this swing here, to create this first square in our price trend. What we are going to go through quickly today is we will use the same principle we used for this side to find the value for CD, for our CD swing. So that means our rectangle, our triangle, again with our overlap here, we'll go there, then like that. So we are going to find this diagonal for the right angled triangle that we've drawn. We're going to find this diagonal here. Now this swing had a total here of 2478 days, and the price advance total was 13958 point. 13958 point. As we said, we divide all our price values by 10. We we divide this by 10 just to square out with the time range. So if we divide this by 10, we will have 1395.8. So here also we use the same manner. The square root, the diagonal here, CD, will be equal to the square root of 2478 squared plus 1395.8 squared. That will give us a value here 2844. We've already calculated 2844.07 units. So units. So our value here, our vector value here for this swing gives us a value, this value 2844.07. 2844.07. Now, what we are going to do is that let's delete our triangle, and then we have this here. Let's bring it here. So that means our CD swing here has a total value, or the three-dimensional value, which is in a unit of price time, a value of 2844.07 units. Now this 2844.07, initially we said we will find the values for this swing with the overlap, and then we will find the second value without the overlap. When we find the second value without the overlap, then that value times the square root of 5 gives us exactly this swing here. But we will go through that later on. So now that we have found this swing CD, what we are going to do is that if we said that this here, this square here is our unit square, then our diagonal here will be the next expansion in price action. And then this square had a unit value of 1852.96. 1852.96. So if we use this diagonal, that means the diagonal will be 1852.96 times 1.4142. As we said, we discussed, the diagonal of a square is given by the ratio 1.4142. So that means this is our unit square. The sides are 1852.96. So the diagonal will give us a value of 1852.96 times 1.4142. 1.4142. So that will give us 1852.96 times 1.4142. That gives us a value of 2620. 2620. So that means our next expansion of this square will be a rectangle, because still we are maintaining, as we said, price action has not gone above the high. This is the high of our first square, or our unit square. Price action has not gone above, or has not broken through that high of the first square. So we are maintaining that side, and we are expanding the base of that square to form root rectangles. So now we have a value of 2620 as our next rectangle, or as our next expansion. So what we do, from the end of our first square, again we measure the range of the next expansion, which is 2620. So we measure here exactly, this is on 26th of May. So we measure exactly, let's take exactly on 26th of May. So 26th, good. Then we are measuring 2620. 2620. So let's measure 2620. Okay, let's take it here. We are having 2618 just at this top. Because we are using the weekly time frame, if we move one step ahead, it will give us 2623. 2625 actually. So within this 2625, 2618, we have our 2620, which is, we can see exactly is the end here where this correction started. So just let's just put a line there on 27th July 2015. So you put a line there. That is our second line. So that means what we have done, we have created our next square or our next rectangle here. Our next expansion here, we have created it exactly, and that is, this is our second rectangle. Then what we can see here is a direct compound rectangle. We have 1 by 1 square here, and this is a 1.4142 rectangle, which is a root 2 rectangle. So now we have created our first we have created our first compound rectangle, and we can see that the end of that second expansion is exactly where this correction took place. Exactly where this correction took place. Now, what we will do next is that, uh, as we said, we will do our videos in 10 minutes, but time is already past. Just let's use some 2 minutes to go through something very quick. Now let's see. We want to use the gun box here to find the subdivisions in this second rectangle. If you put the gun box exactly here, then to the end here, then let's see what we are having. Let's move this from here. We can see the 0.236 here. This is the 0.26236 line defined this low here. The 0.2, the 0.382 also defined this high exactly. This is the half point, which is the 0.5, and exactly that is where this downswing ended, and then we had this double bottom here. Now this high swing we have here, we can see this is the 0.618 of the next expansion that we have drawn. This is the 0.618 side of it. If we zoom in, we can see the divisions clearly. And then when price hit the top here, it declined, and the 0.707 here, this ratio is exactly the side which stopped the decline for the next advance to the end of that square that we have drawn. So guys, what we are trying to do is that we want to account for every wave in this price trend, because we are trying to model the price action going into the end of this major spiral that we are following. And then to model the price action, we want to use the history of the price trend, and we want to find the exact composites in the trend. Then by that history of price action, we can model the end of the trend, and we can model also the divisions or subdivisions in this spiral. So guys, let's just end this one here. We'll do the next video just about now, and then we will continue from here. We will try again also to find this inverse here, this correction here, and then we will find how it relates to this whole compound compound rectangle. Then we will do also this swing, and we will continue again in another discussion for the end side of that spiral, or the price trend we are trying to follow. So until the next video, check back guys, stay safe, and thanks for your time. Good luck to you all guys.